Hello monkeys, welcome back to the garden. Been a bit of delay in filming. The weather's continued to be pretty cold, so I've held back from planting stuff in the ground. I'm keeping stuff in the cloches and under the polytunnels. We're having a really cool spring, but I think any danger of frost is now past. The temperature's sort of hovering in the mid to low teens. It's a little bit warmer today. So now I'm going to crack on and plant stuff out. So I'll show you a few new things I've got. I've bought some sage and some parsley to go with my rosemary and thyme from B&Q. About the only two decent plants in there, the rest of it was absolute rubbish. My spinach, which I've grew from seed in a big tray and then pricked out, that's come on a bit. Sunflowers coming on, flowers coming on. I'll pull back the polytunnel in a minute and show you what's going on in there. I think my first job is going to be to plant out these peas. They're quite overgrown and they desperately need to go in the ground. So I'll show you what's going on in here. Okay, so under here I've got Monge 2 pea shoots. They're ready to go out. They're going to go in a line along here. More nasturtiums. I've got some potted up here. They seem quite happy now, they're growing on. So I'll pot up the rest of these. These are the sort of slightly slower, weaker seedlings, but we can still pot those up. More spinach here. Again, I'll pot those up. This is my tray of wildflower seedlings. They've had enough time in this tray now. They need to go out somewhere, not quite sure where yet. And this is some other flower, I can't remember the name of it. Convolvulus. That's probably had enough time in this tray as well. I'm not quite sure whether to prick these out individually or pot them up into groups. I'll have a think about that. What else? So everything's growing on quite nicely here. The coriander's looking a little bit unhappy. I think I made the mistake of overwatering it. As well as being cool, it's actually been incredibly dry. It's not rained properly now, I think, for at least 2 weeks. So I have been watering things, but maybe got a little bit over enthusiastic in places. Harry's just here. Right, Harry. The strawberries I bought and potted up are doing okay in the container, and the ones in the bed. They seem like good strong plants. I've got some flowers in various stages. These strawberries, these are quite old plants in this planter, but they seem very happy this year for some reason. Maybe they liked that dressing of compost I've given them. So yeah, I'm wittering. I'm going to plant out the peas. I'm also going to put another line of canes and string so that both the sweet peas and the peas are supported on both sides. So yeah, let's get on and do some stuff. The other reason I've been a bit slow on filming is I had my vaccination about a week ago, which is fantastic news. It did leave me feeling pretty much exhausted for about a week, but I'm feeling fine now. It's still a miracle that we got it within a year. Right, enough rabbiting, let's plant some stuff. Okay, slight change of plan. I was going to sow the peas down here. As you can see, this fence here casts quite a shadow, so it's quarter to 1 in the afternoon at the moment, and it's still in shadow here. I know later in the season it'll be in the sun earlier in the day, but peas really like being in full sun. Well, that's my experience anyway. So I'm actually going to sow them a bit further into the bed, so hopefully they get the sun for a longer period of the day. Okay, that's my peas in. And I'm going to stake them either side, put some string for them to grow against, and I'm going to put another row of canes and string the other side of my sweet peas. But yeah, I think they're going to be much happier there than they would be on this side. Okay, so that's my Monge 2 in. I've got them nicely supported. This might be the first year I've actually got them supported decently from the get-go. I've learnt from the past, you have to be quite aggressive with the stringing. They really want some support, especially at the beginning. And I've done the same with the sweet peas. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add to my herb garden. So I'm going to add my parsley and sage to the bed with the rosemary and thyme. I'm just going to double check that the sage likes full sun, but I'm pretty sure it does. So that's my next job. Alright then, so that's my sage and my parsley in the herb bed. I'm pretty pleased with the way this herb bed's turning out. You can just kind of feel that everything's in the right place in this part of the garden. And Howie G seems to like this spot as well. Not sure what the next job is. Probably need to do something with this chard. It's been in these containers for long enough. I think it's probably time for those to go in the ground. So I'll decide where they're going. So I decided on this location for my chard in my main bed. 2 reasons. The soil's really good, particularly good in this bed. It gets a lot of sunshine, and it also means for keeping most of the stuff in here. Later on today I'm going to net this bed up to keep the squirrels out. Whereas if I had planted it over here, then I'm going to have to net all of that up as well. Plus things didn't grow very well in that bed last year. Although it's in sun now, it tends to be quite shady and dank later on in the year when the trees above put on all their leaves. So yeah, I've got two plants that look very healthy, 2 that are a little bit sad for themselves. I think they'll catch up. And they weren't a bad buy from Lidl in the first place, £1.29 for those little seedlings, and they've grown up okay. Next job I think is probably to repot up the sunflowers into some much bigger pots. Actually, scratch that. My next job is I'm going to plant out this clump of wildflower seedlings. I'm going to plant them pretty much where they are now, but a little bit more to the right. So I'm hoping they'll be nice and pretty and they'll attract bees. And I want it next to my lounger so I can watch the bees buzzing around the flowers. So that seems good enough reasons as any to plant them there. It didn't actually say on the packet what variety of flowers these were at all, so I'm quite intrigued to see what they look like when they grow up. They seem quite happy. Sort of scattering them all in this tray turned out to be a good idea. So I might separate these out a little bit and put them in the ground. I wonder if it's not too late, I could actually sow some more. So these were sown about a month ago. Okay, let's get these in the ground. That's the wildflower mix in the bed then. Seem quite happy there. You can see I've put them in pretty deep. I find this is the same with everything you plant out. It always wants to be a little bit deeper than you think. In fact, it's almost impossible to go too deep. The plant will sort itself out. It protects it from the wind and it just helps the roots get established. So I think what I'm going to do is plant these other flowers, these convolvulus, next to them. So we can have a line of flowers along here. These are the nasturtiums I think I'll put in a container. This spinach, which I've got in the trays, pricked out. I'm going to grow on a little bit more, but they will eventually go in that bed over there, because I know from experience that spinach is happy in that bed. I also need to work out what to do with these exotic climbing flowers, what they called again. Mina labata. I know these grow quite tall. They're sort of a climbing thing, so I need to work out where to put those, but they're okay in the pots for now. Okay, so they've gone in. They seem pretty happy. Later on today, when the sun's off this bed, I'll give everything a good watering in. Yeah, it's looking good. Lovely and warm out here. I think it might be about time for a garden beer. Yeah, why not? Hello monkeys. As you can probably see, we had some rain last night for the first time in a few weeks, and the cherry tree has decided to drop most of its blossom on the garden all but once. So I'll try and clear some of this up. It looks quite pretty, but it'll rot and turn brown. So I'll try and rake some of that up. We've got some baby doll flowers. We've just brought down from Seedling Corner, given them a bit of water, and then they're going to go and live under the polytunnel. And I might pot up some more courgettes that have been growing on in the polytunnel. Although I've probably got enough plants actually, but I can always give some away. Oh, I can hear the dulcet tones of the bin men coming. So yeah, there's blossom stuffs everywhere. Well, here we go again. We've got squirrel damage. This kale's been here all winter, not covered up. Squirrel's not been interested in it. And then this morning I come out and it's been completely wrecked. So yeah, thanks for that, Mr. Squirrel. Obviously not eating any of it, it's just vandalised it. But I'm going to consider that a warning shot across the boughs. So I'm going to net all of this bed off. I've already got some netting. I haven't got round to doing it yet. But yeah, that's a priority for today. So annoying. Okay, so a quick netting off job on that. Harry's come out to give me some more support, and Harry hates the squirrels even more than I do. What do you think of squirrels, Harry? Yeah, I completely agree with you. I've also noticed a few other things have been knocked over as well. Hello monkeys. Sorry it's taken a while for this video to come out. I'm just wrapping this one up now. Basically we just had days and days of it being cold, wet and miserable. It's a Tuesday after the bank holiday weekend. It's been miserable all weekend, it's miserable today. Nothing's growing, stuff's just sat on the ground doing nothing. It's supposed to get warmer, well it's supposed to be dry tomorrow, not particularly warm. So hopefully there'll be some more interesting things to show you later in the week. But I may as well wrap up this episode now. I just saw on Facebook that it was a year ago today that I got my delivery of compost. I remember how beautiful the weather was then. It's been a lot different this year. Hopefully we'll eventually get some decent sunshine, because we need it. It's not very pleasant out here. I don't like it out here at the moment, and neither do the plants. Okay monkeys, take care, see you on the next one.